Yo, as you guys know, Embers of Neltharion is coming out here really soon for Season 2. I am so excited for it. It's kind of unreal. I'm excited for the raid, Aberrus, the Shadow Crucible, and just for the Mythic Plus dungeons. It's going to be great. So I want to do this fun tier list of where I think the tanks will stand. So kind of a Season 2 predictions. Based off of the tier sets, what I've seen, gameplay, all that. It's going to be super fun. I mainly tank in WoW. I've been tanking for a long time, off and on. Nothing too serious, maybe up to some heroic rating level and 2500 plus 20 dungeons in Mythic Plus, so take that with what you will, but this should be super fun. That's the point of this. You know, obviously balance changes happen all the time, tier set changes. I mean, they're reworking so many classes, just their talents overall, so it'll be fun to see where we are, and I'll probably check back later on in the season. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know where you think these tanks should stand, and what you're going to be playing if you do tank. I'm honestly curious. We're going to do a DPS one as well, and a healing one. It's going to be a blast. Let's jump right into it. To start us off, let's explain these tiers real quick. We got S, God tier. You're definitely going to bring at least one of these to the raid, or in Mythic Plus, it's probably what you're going to see, you know, in the MDT, the Great Push, the highest keys completed. You'll see this spec. A is awesome. It's pretty great all around. Not quite to the level of God tier, but really good. You'll bring him in all types of content. Can do even push high keys or middle of the pack. You'll excel, but has a little bit more weaknesses maybe than God tier, or just isn't as OP. B is good. It has some more weaknesses than these other two, but still in a great spot. You can do most types of content. C is met. You're going to start to see fall off, especially if you're doing higher keys or maybe heroic mythic rating. And then D is send help. We need some tuning or rebalancing or something, because holy crap. And I do want to say first too that I think all of these tanks are viable, just like they were in back in Season 1 of Dragonflight. You know, with Guardian Druid falling a little bit behind the other ones, but I think in Season 2 they're all viable. You can do most types of content, heroic rating, normal, LFR, obviously. You can do Mythic Plus up to plus 20s, even higher. I mean, you could last year too. We saw Guardian Druid being the worst tank in like plus 26, plus 20 Cs being completed. So every single one of these tanks is viable. Just want to say that first. Just there's some that are better than others, you know? All right, let's jump into the first one here. We've got Brewmaster, man. Brewmaster, I think we're going to put in high A tier. I think it is the second best tank overall, in my opinion. I just think they're in a really good spot, mostly because of their damage profile. They do insane damage. I want to shout out Equinox. I've been watching streams off and on. I watch the YouTube videos. He knows a lot of what he's talking about with Brewmaster. He was taking, I mean, he's been taking keys for a long time, obviously, but when you, dude, he's like the OG Brewmaster Monk tank that you see, or Trelsky. They both know what they're talking about, but it's cool to see them. Even when they weren't good, they were pushing really high keys and, you know, match with the best of them. But man, Brewmaster Monk is in a great spot. They have insane damage. I think it's the best damage out of any of the other tanks. They're insanely fun. They have great utility. I think you'll definitely bring at least one of these to the raid, most likely, or you'll see this in, you know, our top tank or whatever. Maybe Blood DK, but man, great spot. Their tier set too just plays into that damage as well, which is pretty cool too. Obviously we see with the health changes, everybody's health got increased by 25%, but I still think that, you know, they have a lower health pool than the rest of the tanks, but they have that damage mitigation where they're taking damage over time instead of all at once. Really nice. Pretty, I would say not so much beginner friendly. They can in the aspect of you're not getting chunked, you know, and damage when you take a large hit, but they're a little bit more difficult to pick up. I think there's a lot of tools you have to use, a lot of keybinds, but man, they are fun. So high A tier for me. I think they're second best tank. Prot Pally, y'all know where this is going. This is God tier, okay? This is the best tank in the game right now, and I am predicting that it will be for Season 2. It is an insanely OP tank. There's just so many things that it brings to the table. Even with its tier set, you're bringing more damage. I believe that it's even it helps with your judgments. It also heals you when you're doing that damage with your 2 set. But man, their utility is crazy. They're basically a Prot Warrior, but they do it better, and they can off heal everybody else. And I mean, you've got Sack, you've got Bop, you've got Divine Shield if you need that, which taunts if you're in an oh shit moment. You've got okay-ish mobility, not great with Divine Steed, but you've got a great damage profile. Like I said, off healing, you're super tanky. You handle magical damage well, you handle physical damage well. They're just insane. They've even been nerfed slightly, even with their off healing. They're still so OP, guys. I'm telling you, if you're trying to push high content or get into anything you want, probably Prot Paladin is going to be the way to go. I know Paladin as a whole is what I'm going to be maining, I think, next season. Not just because Prot Paladin's great, and I love it because I played it back in Shadowlands a lot. was my main there for like a season or two. But I also am excited for Ret. Ret's in a fantastic spot. So Prot Pally, S tier for sure. Let's go Guardian Druid. I'm gonna put Guardian actually in good. I think it's not as bad as it was. I would have put it in May probably before, maybe even back in D in the very beginning. But I really think they have a good damage profile. I think that their tier set is pretty good. When you take damage, basically, Mangle and Thrash and Rage and Erasure increased, and then you heal for a percent of that damage over like 8 seconds, I think, like 7-8 seconds. And then I also think you have something else that like Maul and Raise increased by 20%, and I think its damage increases that. Let's see here. And Maul Raise increases your maximum health by 3% for 12 seconds, stacking 5 times. So you get a health buff. Obviously, you're super tanky to physical damage, and then you're also healing for part of the damage you're doing. I think that's pretty fun. I think that's a good tier set. I think it's gonna be better than it was before. And they do really good damage. You've got great utility. You bring Mark of the Wild, so I think we will see these, and I think you can push some high keys. I think they fall off from a lot of these other tanks, especially the magical damage part of that. But I think they're good, man. I love Guardian Druid. I've played them so much in my life. I'll probably be playing them some in season 2. But I think they'll stay here. Blood DK, man. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll put Blood DK here. Their tier set plays into their damage, which I think is their weakest point. And it wasn't even that weak. I think they're still insane. I love Blood DKs. They are like your one-man army. You can solo the end of raid bosses. I mean, we've seen it so many times. I soloed a couple raid bosses back in season 1. 5%, 10% health raid bot. It was insane. I mean, they're so good. I predict that you'll probably bring a Prot Paladin, at least one for your raid group, and then either a Brewmaster or a Blood DK, especially, normal, heroic, whatever, mythic. But for high keys, man, Blood DK is a great pug tank. Not quite as good, I think, as Prot Pally with off-healing utility, but they're fantastic. They're easy to pick up. They have AMS. Not great on mobility on the front, but that's okay. You've got Death Grip. You can bring targets in. They're just super tanky, man. You heal through everything. You're out healing the healers, bro. And probably with the changes with health, and then basically they thought healers were too powerful, so they kind of nerfed them a little bit. I think Blood DK is going to be really, really good. Solid spot. And like I said, I like the tier set. Helps with the damage profile. So let's go Vengeance Demon Hunter next, man. I actually think this is going to be high B. I think they're actually in a really good spot just because it's B here. Good can still do most types of content. I think these other tanks just bring a little bit more to the table. But man, I think Vengeance is really good. I think their tier set looks decent. You basically healing for more for your soul fragments. You do more damage. You even put Fiery Brand to your target for 6 seconds. I think when you consume 20 soul fragments, it's really cool. As you guys know, they have great mobility though. Do great with magical damage just overall. Like holy shit, pretty good with physical. Great, great mobility. They have a AoE silence that's so OP. I mean, it's almost like this one, like Prot Paladin, but excuse me, I think Prot Paladin's better because it's not in this small area so much. I think that's why it falls off. Doesn't help out his team so much. But I just think these other tanks just bring so much more to the table, man. Vengeance Demon, like I said, good spot. I think you'll be able to do most types of content. As with Guardian Druid, I do think Vengeance beats out Guardian, in my opinion, for right now. And I think that will carry over to Season 2. Yeah, I'm doing high B. All right, Prot Warrior, man. I'm actually putting in the 4th spot. I don't know if you guys watch Dorky or any. If you guys know about Dorky, you should. If you don't know, he streams on Twitch. He also makes YouTube videos. Fantastic tank. He's a freaking legend. I love his streams. That guy's awesome. And it's cool to see him tank. It's cool to learn things from him. But man, I'm watching some streams lately from him, and he really thinks Prot Paladin's obviously really good. Brew, Blood, and I think he's thinking also Prot Warriors right number 4. I agree with him. I think they are really good, but I think their tier set just for me doesn't do like anything significant for them. You know what I mean? I think it helps with last stand. Let's see. Shield Slam deals 50% increased damage, reduce the cooldown on last stands by 0.5 seconds, so half a second. During last stand, these effects are double, so that's not bad. For 10 seconds after last stand ends, Shield Slam unleashes a wave of force dealing damage to enemies in front of you and reduces damage they deal to you by 5% for 5 seconds. That's okay. I just don't think it's fantastic. You know what I mean? It's bringing the same profile. Basically, you just keep shield block up at the same time. You do well with you have responses to magical damage, obviously physical damage. You have AoE taunt still. You have multiple interrupts. You got Storm Bolt, Intimidating Shout, Shockwave. You still bring great damage, but I really think that with the tier set being so impactful for both of these and the damage profile front, and I just think where they stand, and pug ability. And if you're gonna bring one of these Prot, both of these, Protection Warrior and Protection Paladin, they bring similar profiles. I just think Prot Paladin does it better. So I think that drops this guy down, man. Honestly, I think they're low A, a little bit below Blood and Brewmaster for me specifically, unless something changes. I still think they're a great spot. You can definitely play this tank in high-end content. I guarantee it. High and Mythic Plus, definitely heroic rating, probably some Mythic rating. I just think Blood DK is going to be better overall, especially if you're pugging. And Brewmaster too, man, so much damage. I'm not kidding. They're insane. Highest damaging tank for sure. Love Prot Warrior. Mained it as my tank in obviously in Season 1, and then I've been playing some Prot Paladin. But, man, this is where I think they stand, man. Like I said, they're all viable, though. I'm excited to hear what you guys are playing. So let me know down in the comments below what you guys are going to be, if you tank, what you'd like to play. If you agree with me or if you don't, if you think this is going to be all out of whack. I'm excited to see later on in the season if I'm right or wrong. It's always going to be super fun. But yeah, man, I stream over on Twitch, so feel free to go check me out there. I tank, I DPS, I heal, I kind of have fun. I pug a lot of keys. That's basically what I do. I do some raiding off and on too, but it's super fun time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep an eye out for that DPS tier list prediction and the healer one. It's going to be great, man. Thank you guys so much. Until next time. Peace!